Hello, everyone, and welcome to BookTrib Live, a Merrill Moss Media production. Today, we are so excited to be talking with award-winning actress, producer, director, spokesperson, and author Alison Sweeney. Alison's best known for her role, of course, on Days of Our Lives as Sammy Brady. She's the host of NBC's Biggest Loser for 8 seasons and currently stars in Hallmark Movies and Mystery Series Murder, She Baked. Alison is also the author of 5 books, All the Days of My Life so far, The Mommy Diet, The Star Attraction, Scared Scriptless, and her newest release, which came out at the beginning of the month, Opportunity Knocks. Thank you so much for joining us today, Allie. Welcome.
Thanks for having me today. I'm so excited to chat with everyone. I was just posting all over my social media, make sure people knew they could join in our fun conversation today and ask questions.
Absolutely. It's so exciting. So let's talk about your third novel, Opportunity Knocks. What is happening with Alex Cleary and what's going on in the story? Yeah.
So I wrote about behind the scenes of Hollywood. For me, like that's where I spend my time, right? That's my career, and so it was a more natural setting for my all of my novels actually. But I love the idea of basing my latest novel, Opportunity Knocks, on a makeup artist because, as everybody knows, makeup artists know everything about everyone. So I thought it would be really fun to follow the journey of Alex, who is a young woman who hasn't really found herself or what she wants to do with her life yet. And she discovers a passion in doing makeup, and she wants to break into Hollywood, and that's not so easy. So she has to figure it out and find a career. And she ends up working for, of course, a monster boss, celebrity, who makes her job very difficult. And, she has to fight it out. She has to fight for what she wants. And we'll see. You have to read it to find out if she succeeds.
Yeah, definitely. So is there something about this novel that kind of stands apart from the other two you've written or something that makes it a little bit different?
Well, I feel like this is my best novel so far. I love writing them, but as I get more into it, I found this one to be a little more I hope exciting and tension filled, and there's a big sort of obstacle, that Alex has to overcome to
Right.
to make her way in the entertainment industry, and she has to fight for it. And of course, there's a wonderful romance with a very dreamy actor, so that was fun to write. And I really love this world that I've created with these 3 novels. So it's been really fun for me to um, get to revisit it and develop the character of Alex. And uh, it's just been it's a fun thrill for me to do it.
Absolutely. So, as you've mentioned, this isn't your first foray into talking about behind the scenes. What ultimately made you say, this is what I'm going to start writing about first? With your first book, you wanted to go behind the scenes with Hollywood. What made you go there?
Um, well, it's what I know, right? And they always say write what you know. So for me, kind of pulling back the curtain on how you make TV and film and what goes into it and what people's jobs really are was sort of a fun uh, opportunity for me to write about my friends and people I know and jobs that I've been around and watched. And rather than, I think everybody always focuses on the actors and what's that job like, it was fun for me to write about all the behind the scenes jobs and what they do and how they make the magic come alive. And so I really enjoyed that element of it. And then from there, it was just like, okay, everybody, all the crew, all the people I've worked with are always pitching me their job. Oh, you have to do my job next. Like,
Right.
I'm a cameraman, I'm a whatever, So it was really fun to like get people involved in my ideas.
Oh, that's exciting. So, are there other genres that maybe you want to write about, or that you're thinking, hey, maybe I could take a stab at that?
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, on the last picture I did, I was sort of thinking I really would love to write about the wardrobe stylist. So I think that might be my next book or my next main character. There are a couple, there's also these awesome chick camera operators who were on the last movie, and I totally got inspired by these cool women to maybe follow them and tell a
Ooh.
story. like I just meet people all the time, or I have certain instances or crazy things that I witness in making these movies and being in Hollywood all these years, and I just think to myself like, oh, that's definitely going in my next book. So, I take a little bit from real life, a little bit from fantasy, from my imagination, and that's where these novels come from.
Amazing. So, have you found as you've moved kind of forward with your writing and writing new novels that your writing process has maybe changed at all, or the way you write has changed?
Well, for sure. I mean, when I first started writing, I was doing it just for myself, and I wrote really like I would write for a week straight, and then I wouldn't write again for a month. I didn't have a deadline. I didn't have anyone to answer to. I was kind of just doing it for me. So now that I am more sort of have obligations and an editor and publishing dates and stuff like that, I kind of have to sorry, I just have to readjust. But now that I have all those sort of things, it becomes more like I have to write every day and I have to get my job done. And so there's a little more regimentation to, is that a word? I regiment myself a little bit better with writing now than I used to.
Oh, okay. So do you already have, you mentioned a couple ideas you're thinking about, but do you already have something lined up next that's coming after Opportunity Knocks?
Yeah, I've been talking to the my editor and the publisher about doing the next one, but we don't have it in the works yet. I'm still getting this one out there.
Absolutely. Um, so I want to talk, of course, I could not talk about Days of Our Lives. I'm sure we have plenty of Days of Our Lives fans here, which is a huge part, is and was, of your life. What kind of has Sammy meant to you over the years? And do you maybe ever find yourself thinking, like, what would Sammy do in this situation?
Oh my gosh, of course. Sammy is such a big part of my life, and I loved playing her for all those years. So I absolutely, miss Salem, and I miss my friends that I worked with for so many years. But I can't help you. I can take Sammy away from Salem, but I can't take Sammy out of me. And I definitely think about her all the time. And what would Sammy do? It's sometimes, very useful.
Of course. So you came back when Will died. Now Sammy is off searching for EJ, which most fans are aware of course. What can you say to the fans who are constantly, I'm sure, asking you on Twitter and social media when or if you'll be back? Anything that you can say to them?
I could say go read Soap Opera Digest that's out
There you go.
this week.
Absolutely. So, the EGME fans are passionate. There's so many other fans out there, safe fans and fans of Sammy with Lucas.
Oh, for sure. The Days of Our Lives fans are such passionate people, and they always have been. And social media just sort of brought to light, I think how people felt about soaps all for the last, Days of Our Lives has been on for 50 years. So I've known it, meeting fans all the time, but it's just now everybody kind of sees how passionate people are and about the shows that they watch and that they dedicate 5 hours a week to. Of course, like that, it's awesome that they're that invested. And I've been so lucky to have so many different fan bases who cared what happened to Sammy and wanted to see her, and were rooting for her with someone. And I have my own shows that I am totally obsessively passionate about. So I get it. I am a total fangirl myself, and I love that I can bring to my work how I feel about TV, my favorite characters too, and hopefully get fans invested in the stories that I'm telling now the same way that I did with Days of Our Lives, because that's my goal. That's what I shoot for.
Definitely. So, as also starring in the Hallmark Movie and Mystery series, which Murder She Baked is so much fun. It's such a great series. Of course, Peach Cobbler Mystery was most recent. Have you read all of the books? Are you still trying to? There's so many. Are you still trying to get through them?
And they're all so fun, but I've only read like 12 of them, and I think there's over 20. So I am, mostly reading them with the eye for which movie do we want to make next, and figuring out how that story is going to go and what we want to tell. And it'll be fun to figure that out with and get the audience feedback. I love people who I read so often. People have on Twitter and Facebook and stuff that people were fans of the novels and now are enjoying seeing the movies too. And I love thinking about them as I make the movies, because just like, we talked about earlier, we're both huge Outlander fans.
Yeah.
And, it's so fun to read the books and know and hope that they're going to take that into consideration as they do the show.
Absolutely. So you've started filming the fourth, Hallmark announced you started filming Fudge Cupcake. Can you talk about what the mystery sorry?
We finished Fudge Cupcake. We finished shooting it, and now we're in post-production, getting it ready for airing in June 26th, I think. Okay. And it's really. I was Snapchatting this morning. I, by the way, don't know if I'm doing that right. But I was watching a cut of the movie this morning, and I was posting a photo of it.
That's excellent. So, what is your take on the triangle with Mike and Norman? Because I have a favorite, but I gotta hear from you what you think.
Oh my gosh, I'm so interested because I sort of thought. I mean, it's interesting because I think you could go, I mean, that's what we're trying for, right? Like in the movies, we're trying to really make sure that it's a fair fight and that both guys are so great and they offer her, very different lifestyles. But they are both incredibly handsome, and they both, it's so fat. They both love Hannah, so I have the best job in the world. But it's I'm interested because I feel like a lot of people are there are more people who are Team Norman than I thought there would be. So it's fun to see that on the internet and respond to that when we make the movies, because we want to keep this triangle alive for, as long as we can.
Definitely. So
who are you? Now you got to tell me.
Oh, well, I'm Team Mike. I'm the obvious.
Yeah. No, it's not. I mean, he's Mike. I mean, my gosh, of course. Absolutely. You and Hannah's sister Andrea are on the same team. Yeah. I love that Dolores is so Team Norman. It makes me it's awesome. She makes me laugh. Barbara Niven is the best, and she's hilarious. But she's a great Team Norman advocate.
Well, quite honestly, all of the characters have been so excellently, is that the word, cast? It's just they're so great.
Yeah, it's a fun cast, and we all work so well together, and we have a lot of fun together. I'm building together lots of behind-the-scenes clips and sneak peeks for everybody for the movie premiering this June, so you get a sense of how we interact with each other, which is, fun for us. And I'm really looking forward to sharing that with everyone because while you may think you know the characters, and you probably do, the actors, we're all have so much fun together and goof around and are silly, and so that just makes it fun too.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're all about eating healthy here, and actually April is Spring Clean Your Brain Month. So what are maybe some tips that you can give for someone who's kind of looking to get into spring and summer and they're just trying to start it out healthy and really get that ball rolling?
Well, yeah, I mean, I am all about sort of trying to maintain throughout the year, but I totally get that there are, peaks and valleys, and sometimes you're more on board for being focused on your nutrition than other times. And certainly, at the beginning of the new year or sort of the end of the holiday season, you get a little overwhelmed with wow, I've been really busy and going to a lot of parties and maybe not eating as healthy as I could have been. And so getting ready for spring, it's a perfect time of year to sort of spring clean your refrigerator, your pantry, and start fresh, and also there's tons of great veggies and things that are out and available in farmers markets and in your grocery store that might have things that appeal to you that are perfect fruits and vegetables and all the stuff on the outside of the grocery store that maybe is like easier and more fun to eat in the spring when it starts to get warmer and you're kind of feeling like I might wear a sleeveless shirt soon, so I need to kind of clean up my act a little. And there's a lot. And the other thing I would say, so importantly, especially fresh ingredients can help this. But you can eat delicious and be healthy. Yeah. It doesn't have to be bland and boring and feel like torture. It can be yummy and flavorful and enjoyable and still be good for you.
Absolutely.
I swear.
Promise. So you're also the Arm & Hammer Truly Radiant spokesperson, and I think what a lot of people don't realize is your oral care health is just as important. Can you talk about that initiative that you're working on with them with City of Hope Cancer Research?
Yeah, well, for me, what I love about working with Arm & Hammer is and Truly Radiant is that it's a brand I've worked with my whole life, but that, and I had Arm & Hammer, as something in our home every day since I was a little kid. But that it's important to be a good it's important to represent a good lifestyle for your family, and I, want my kids to have a routine of being healthy. Like brushing your teeth every day is the same as eating right in the morning and getting your day off to a good start, getting dressed and brushing your teeth and then working out and eating right and getting your homework done and then brushing your teeth again and taking a shower and getting ready for bed. I just don't want. It's so important to me when raising my young kids that I don't want them to feel like that they have to not eat, we don't eat ice cream all the time or whatever. I want them to just feel like that's a matter of fact thing. Like it's just a way of life. I don't want them to feel like they're deprived of stuff. I want them to recognize a healthy lifestyle and kind of just take it like that's what we do. We just take care of our bodies and we eat right and we have fun outside. I don't want it to seem like, a punishment or a trial. And I feel like that's a really important responsibility I have as a parent.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll ask you this last question before we wrap up. What is on your reading list right now? I'm dying to know.
What's on my reading list right now? I am, I'm in the middle of reading one of the Outlander books. I love the series, as I may or may not have mentioned like 9 million times on social media. But I've read 4. I'm in the middle of book 5 right now. Okay. So I'm loving that. And, it was funny because I had never read the books until I watched the first 9 episodes. And I was like, oh, hell no, you did not just give me a cliffhanger. Like, I can go get that book right now. And I went and I had to find out what happened next. So, that happened.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Allie, so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Everyone, Opportunity Knocks, it's on sale now. Go grab it. Seriously, such a great book. And you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.
And when you've read it, please feel free to leave a review about what you thought on, wherever you got it from. I would love that.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, bye, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in.